runaway greenhouse nightmare, a panel of international scientists and military officials announced Operation Storm Destroyer, a new plan to weaken the superstorms ravaging the globe.
Project Popeye.
Are we really able to change the weather? We have tried before with some success.
Operation Storm Fury. Project Popeye.
For nearly 20 years, the U.S. government ran a program called Project Storm Fury. Their mission was to weaken supercell storms by seeding them with chemicals.
And they found out they could create them as well.
In theory, we can weaken a storm by selectively seeding it with silver iodide.
Silver iodide particles are hygroscopic. That means they attract water. So when silver iodide particles are dropped into a rain cloud, they draw the water to them, forming raindrops. As rain falls out of the cloud, the storm weakens.
And they can do the opposite.
So if a quick succession of storms begin to ravage the planet, nations with experience in seeding may come together to fight back.
We have scheduled about 30 minutes for this press conference.
With the eventual impacts of the current environment yet unclear,
Maintain spacing interval 90 seconds.
and the constant threat of natural disaster,
Approaching minimums.
and America stands ready as a partner to provide stability for all.
Okay, jettison iodide.
Data from California EPA confirming aluminum contamination in waterways throughout California. This is from Cal EPA. There's about 26 lab tests in here confirming that there is aluminum, barium, strontium in our air. What we're all breathing here, we're all exposed to. We face a lot of legitimate challenges here. I agree with you. I agree with a lot of points brought up, but I would ask anybody in the room, what challenges will we face if we're inhaling aluminum on a day in, day out basis? If our streams are contaminated with aluminum, how can we prepare when our soils no longer grow properly, when we have a UV issue that's off the charts? So when we have Cal EPA stating that this is not in their jurisdiction, these climate modification programs that are absolutely going on, we have CARB saying not in their jurisdiction, Shasta County saying not in their jurisdiction. I would like to ask, since we know these programs are...
Maybe the federal EPA, because they're trying to take over every mud puddle and ditch and backyard pond in the world, so maybe somebody will find it. Right?
It is part of it. Water rights are being pursued, and we know the drought is a 2 + 2 = 4 equation. We have the satellite imagery to prove it up. So I'm going to hand this data off to you. I have a copy for you and for your staff. My question would be this: since everybody is passing the buck here, will your office address the fact that we have an absolute, positively, like a heavy metal contamination issue that cannot be disputed? It's a public health hazard. We have a UV radiation issue that's so intense it's burning the bark off of trees. All appear to be related to these climate modification programs, but these issues are indisputable public health hazards. Since nobody else will address it, will your office address it?
And I have come down with Morgellons for 1.5 years. It starts with tingling and itching of the body, and after a while you can see that out of the fingers, for example, or out of other parts of the body, the fibers are coming out of the skin, plastic fibers. It's terrifying when you see that. You don't know what it's all about
Nanobots.
and how it works, and you feel totally sick.
Radio-controlled nanobots. And shut off.
The doctors always say that it doesn't exist, that you're crazy, and discount it as a delusional parasitosis, and send you to the psychiatrist. You stand there not knowing what to do. You get sicker and sicker. It gets worse, but no doctor is doing anything, is investigating, or is helping.
Lose their license, lose their...
We have analyzed the fibers in the early phases, when it first becomes apparent and known in literature. They are protein fibers or substances. Earlier it was assumed that they were parasites, but we didn't find any DNA in them, a sign that it is something organic. There are different theories where they come from.
NASA, microdust weaponry.
The fallout from the chemtrails consists of plastic nanoparticles, which are coated with aluminum, titanium, and barium. We know this, because we had it analyzed in a nanolab. Every environmental authority could spend their money on that and make the identical assessment for about 10,000 euros. We suppose that the inhaled plastic particles are the cause of the Morgellons disease.
For the past 5 years, I have documented aircraft emitting trails across the sky. I have taken hundreds of videos and thousands of photographs of these persisting emissions. Many of the aircraft I have witnessed appear to be spraying something into the atmosphere. Uneasy with my observations, I wanted to know exactly what was causing the aircraft to leave visible trails that did not dissipate. I reached out to local, state, and federal government agencies for information and assistance. What I experienced was disillusioning, to say the least. When I called the EPA, I was told that the FAA handled aircraft emissions. When I called the FAA, they told me to call the EPA. I was shuttled from office to office with no agency ever accepting responsibility or accountability. My calls were not returned, nor were my concerns ever addressed.